When were the Baltic states annexed by the Soviet Union? Have you ever wondered how the Baltic states became part of the Soviet Union? The story begins in the summer of 1940. This was a time of great upheaval in Europe, marked by the tensions of World War II. The Baltic states, which include Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, were caught in a web of political maneuvering. In August 1939, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact was signed. This was a non-aggression treaty between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. However, it secretly divided Eastern Europe into spheres of influence. Under this agreement, the Baltic states fell under Soviet control. By September and October of 1939, the Soviet Union pressured the Baltic countries to sign mutual assistance pacts. These agreements allowed Soviet military bases to be established on their territory. This was the first step towards the eventual annexation. Fast forward to June 1940. The Red Army invaded the Baltic states. The occupation happened quickly, with little military resistance from the local forces. The overwhelming presence of Soviet troops and ultimatums to their governments made it difficult to resist. Between June 15th and June 17th of 1940, Soviet forces took control of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. After the occupation, the Soviet Union set up puppet communist governments in each country. These governments held manipulated elections in July 1940. The results showed pro-Soviet candidates winning with suspiciously high approval rates. The puppet parliaments then declared their nations as Soviet Socialist republics. They formally requested to be incorporated into the Soviet Union. The official annexation dates were set by the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union. Lithuania was annexed on August 3rd, Latvia on August 5th, and Estonia on August 6th in 1940. From that moment on, the Baltic states were considered constituent republics of the Soviet Union. This annexation was not without consequences. It was accompanied by a harsh process of Sovietization, which included mass deportations and repression of political opponents. Interestingly, the United States and several Western countries never recognized the legitimacy of this annexation. They maintained diplomatic missions for the Baltic states in exile, showing their support for the independence of these nations. From the viewpoint of communism, this incorporation was framed as a way to liberate and unify proletarian nations under socialism. It was seen as a strategic move against fascism and capitalist encirclement during a turbulent time in history. The Soviet leadership believed these actions were necessary to secure the socialist state and spread communist governance. The Soviet annexation of the Baltic states is a significant chapter in the history of communism and the Cold War. It illustrates the division of Europe and the impact of the Iron Curtain, which separated Eastern and Western Europe for decades.